Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. We're going to find out about something interesting that has been happening in Jasper and will continue happening in Jasper. Joining us in the studio is Carla Carmona. Also joining us is Raul Salazar. Now, Carla is with N.E.T Ministries, as is Raul. However, he is a team leader. So, first of all, we're going to talk about your N.E.T Ministries is involved with St. John Bosco, which is a youth ministry at St. Joe's Church. But first of all, somebody explain to me St. John's Bosco. What is the St. John's Bosco Youth Ministry?
So St. John Bosco is a kind of like it's a youth ministry that involves St. Joseph's, Holy Family, Precious Blood, and even St. Mary's Ireland, and takes the youth and is one youth group for all four of those parishes. And so that's where they're able to kind of just come together. Usually Wednesday nights we'll have a youth night, and so there'll be usually a theme for every night, and they can all just like come together. There's small groups. There's a discussion that's available as well, and yeah, that's St. John Bosco.
So St. John Bosco is through the church, the Catholic Church of the Jasper Catholic Churches is what we'll say.
Correct.
Then what is the association known as N.E.T Ministries?
Yes, so St. John Bosco wanted to kind of expand their youth group, and so they hired us N.E.T missionaries to come into the community of Jasper and help out with their outreach, help out with kind of expanding and reaching out to more youth and being able to develop more of a core youth team there. So.
Okay, so St. John's Bosco has existed for a long time in Jasper. Now, N.E.T Ministries has become part of it, but you're the outreach. You're the boots on the ground, so to speak, going out to the kids to get them to become part of St. John's Bosco.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and if I may,
Yes.
to also just add on what Carla was saying, so what St. John Bosco and N.E.T Ministries came to agree with is they came to agree on having a discipleship program. So we're a discipleship team, and so what our team does is we're either sent to a local youth ministry or a school, and we're there for the contract is for like 3 years. So for each year there'll be a different team that does outreach within the community and tries to bring just the local youth into the Catholic Church to enrich the Catholic community within where their ministry is.
Because I'm sure that there is concern in all churches, but in the Catholic Church, that the youth are straying away from going to church, and the idea of you is to bring them back in, to bring in the stray sheep, so to speak.
Yes.
So N.E.T Ministries is part of St. John Bosco, and you guys were brought in from somewhere else. Where are you from?
I'm from Illinois, Chicago area.
Okay.
So, and I'm from the Central Valley in California.
Now, time is about to end in Jasper, and you're going to move on to another community, but somebody else will come in. When will a new team come in?
So you can expect them to come mid-September. Okay. That's when they'll be here.
So, what does your day entail? What do you do? Just go to the school? What are you doing?
Yeah, so Raul, being one of the team leaders on the team, makes our schedule and is able to kind of help out the team in what we're supposed to do on a daily basis. And of course that includes, setting up times where we're able to meet with the youth, setting up times where maybe there'll be an event, for example, on Wednesday night where we have to plan a youth night and see what we can kind of include, whether that be like a Bible study or an activity that is able to kind of teach them a lesson within there or something, or a message that we want to send across that youth night. And so a lot of it is prep work. A lot of it is also helping out with, the marketing side as well. And of course, like setting up posts or setting up events or reaching out to people who want to help out with the community and with the youth group. So
much like reaching out to WJTS TV to say that we'd like to come on the air to talk about it so people understand what it is. I know everybody's heard of St. John Bosco Youth Ministry, but they didn't know that you were associated with that and doing something with it. So what's the best part of what you're doing? What do you enjoy the most about what you're doing? Because this is something you volunteered for. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So something I personally have really liked is just forming forming relationships with the youth that we encounter here, and not just only the youth, but we also stay with families, different families within the Jasper community, and forming relationships with them as well, because we're usually with them for 2 weeks at a time, and getting to know who these families are and what their stories are, and just sharing stories with one another as well, is just a very, very beautiful thing.
And for you, Carla?
Yeah, I would say that one of my favorite parts about it is like not only am I able to like grow within my own faith, but I'm also able to walk with the youth or walk with somebody from the Jasper community and able to like talk about their faith openly and talk about, the many different ways that like God wants to speak to us and in our everyday lives.
Is the most important thing that you're doing is bringing youth back to church or keeping them in church? What do you think the most important mission you have? What's your job?
Our motto for this year has been to enrich Catholic culture and form lifelong disciples. And so what that entails is, being able to walk with the people who maybe don't quite understand where their faith life would be going, or maybe don't see Jesus as a very, pivotal point in their own life. And so being able to walk with them and not give them knowledge or give them that, comfort and kind of embracing more of their Catholic faith is really why we're here. And being able to just walk with them on that journey and help them is all that we're here to do.
If I may.
Please.
So something that comes to mind is just Jesus' word in the Gospel of Matthew in chapter 26, where he says, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations." And that's exactly what we're here to do. We're here to make disciples of the people, from the people that we encounter. And granted, Jasper is a primarily Catholic community, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a beautiful thing. The other thing that I've noticed, and maybe Carla has as well, is that there are, and even like within the world too, there are a lot of people who just see their faith as kind of just like a checklist type of thing, like, oh, I went to Mass on Sunday, great, and that's it. But it's also just reviving that faith within them and helping them to realize that the relationship with Jesus isn't just a checklist thing. It's actually a personal relationship. Like I would have like a relationship with like my best friend, for example, or with my parents, anything like that. And so it's not just a thing to just check off and be done with, but it's something that you should be an active part of and continue to give of yourself to God, just as He gives of Himself to you as well.
So I guess now let's get to the call to action sort of thing. If somebody's watching it, you don't necessarily have to be Catholic to become involved. What's the next step? Do they contact the church? Do they contact their school? Do they just have to hope they find somebody? What is the best way for youth to get involved?
I would say best way for youth to get involved is to just you could call the Catholic Church, you could call St. Joe's, you can call any of the churches. Really, the invitation is, every single week we have like Bosco events, and so we have a weekly youth night every Wednesday night, and then we also have another event called Bosco Lounge on Sundays. And so anybody is welcome to come to those events, and the Bosco House is right across from the St. Joe's parking lot. And so really, it really is just an open invitation. Whoever wants to come, and anybody is welcome.
Okay, so it might be best just to contact the church. Just go there, and they'll get you going in the right direction.
Yeah, or even that you can contact the church, but you can also contact the youth minister, Jacqueline Rittberger, and I don't have the phone number off the top of my head, but you can find it on either church bulletin. I think all 4 parishes will have it on their bulletin as well, and so you can find that information there. Contact Jacqueline, and you can get involved. Yeah.
Okay, if we've been saying youth, what age group are we talking about?
So we're talking about primarily high school age students as well as middle school.
Okay, so anywhere in there, they should become part of the St. John Bosco Ministry, which is now getting the discipleship of N.E.T. Ministries. Did I get that right?
Yes.
That's kind of okay. All right. Well, anything else that you would like to add? Just become part of it. And there's no real obligation. Just come to a meeting, come to the lounge at some point on Sundays and find out more about it. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to Carla Carmona. Also, thanks to Raul Salazar. They are N.E.T Ministry ministers or missionaries, and Raul is a team leader. And good luck with your future with N.E.T Ministries. Thank you for watching 18 WJTS. We are local people watching local people.